Massive thanks to the mad lads and ladies supporting the channel. The doggos say thanks. Hey everyone, it's time for some more Monster Hunter. And let's talk about the EU being the hero that we need. So I know that regulations from government are a very touchy subject for a lot of people, but today I wanted to talk about something that's an actual W when it comes to government regulation. So thanks to some absolutely stupid, moronic, predatory, like child predator, idiot company called, or game, excuse me, called, what was it, Star Stable or something like that, that deliberately preys on children's fear of missing out and need to be included, and encouraging them to, you know, get their parents to pay money for them, or using predatory tactics to get them to purchase certain packs that are limited time, and just using some of the most disgusting tactics available to literally prey on kids. So, hey, I can't remember what the company's called, but Star Stable, do not play the game. And, yeah, because the company is Child Predators. You can be a child predator in more ways than one. I don't think it's controversial to say you can be a financial predator. So, yes, in terms of being a financial predator, the company that made Star Stable are indeed child predators. So the reason why I want to talk about this is because thanks to how much of an egregious child predator that the creators of Star Stable are, which they are child predators in a financial sense, which does make them indeed child predators, financially speaking, because of what they did by doing all these different monetization tactics to get kids to spend money, to get their parents to spend money on the game for them, to extract as much money as possible from their audience. What happened was some Swedish board of regulators or something like that got involved, and they said, yeah, this preys on kids, maybe let's not do that. And the EU actually got involved. So the reason why I'm calling this a W for the EU is because what they're doing is they're stepping in and saying, yeah, in 1 month you have to, you know, have some sort of written statement about this. And what they are going to make the company do is they are going to make the company, I mean, first of all, stop. They're going to make them stop implementing these tactics to prey on kids, to take away the marketing that basically tells our kids, you know, hey, get your parents to buy this stuff for us. And to be fair, I'm getting this information secondhand, so do not trust me as a journalistic source in this sense. Definitely do your own research. It's just something that I did a little bit of digging into, and it seems to be right. And it's something I'm pretty happy about, because personally, I hate scammy, scummy, piece of shit, you know, companies and corporations that are willing to literally prey on children because they're child predators in a financial sense, in order to actually, and you know, I'm saying that, I'm not going to go there. But they're literally preying on children in a financial sense in order to get money from them, which is one of the most disgusting, degenerate things you can do. Including, you know, there's also like the child gambling that comes with FIFA. So EA is child predators in a financial sense because of how they promote gambling with FIFA and its predatory behavior towards children, because they're child predators in a financial sense, which is why you'll never see me buying another EA game. Unless it's not only secondhand, but also on a massive, massive discount. But yeah, all that said, basically the regulators get involved and they're saying, yeah, first of all, you have to take out this marketing stuff. I don't know if they're going to change the ESRB rating, but at the very least, they're most likely going to be at least taking some steps to implement warnings into this game and hopefully other games in the future. Somebody who's literally grown up to see good games and gaming as a whole die, I watched it die before me, starting with, you know, Oblivion, because I actually owned Oblivion on the Xbox 360. I got it secondhand a couple years after it came out from GameStop for like $10, I think. I actually forgot I had the game, so I had Oblivion and Skyrim, but I never played Oblivion because I just couldn't get into it. But yeah, somebody who grew up seeing the horse armor come out and then watching, you know, Dead Space 3 where it really took off with the loot boxes and Ultimate Team stuff and everything else. This is something that has me giddy with joy, because being able to see these I want to see these companies grasp at straws and then be like, oh shit, I guess we just have to make a good game in order to, you know, make money off of it now. See, there is a problem that's come with that, though. There's unfortunately, like, if heavy regulation does get involved, which I think is necessary to protect people who are vulnerable, and that's exactly how the EU called it, like vulnerable persons and especially vulnerable children, which, you know, completely agreeable and completely understandable. In order to protect these people, heavy regulations do need to be made towards these companies. And because of those regulations that will need to be made, as soon as they are made, I mean, obviously it's happening already, but a lot more people are going to lose their jobs. And the reason why, and I can't remember who said this, I think it was a Bungie, like a previous Bungie director or something like that. Basically, and I do agree with this personally, like on a personal level. Basically, gaming has gotten to a point where it is unsustainable in terms of making as much money right now as it did before just off of good games. Also, I think Jaggy's AI broke. Anyways, as I was saying, yeah, in order to make the line keep going up and basically not have all the investors pull out to make them go into bankruptcy, because investors nowadays aren't like investors of the past. They're all like literally man-children, unwilling to take a risk and only wanting to see the line go up, and because of that, the entire customer base is having to suffer as a result. Yeah, and I know, again, I'm going on a whole capitalist bad rant. I think capitalism is kind of like communism in the sense that I think in theory, and only in theory, it can be made into something good, you know, free market, all that stuff. And some aspects of it can be integrated into some parts of some economy or some government structure, like very few aspects of it, and have it be fine. You know, like the concept of a free market. I think, you know, and preventing monopolies and stuff like that, that's fine and stuff. It's just, I think we are currently seeing the results of a pure free market economy where large companies are buying off politicians and regulators because corruption and basically, you know, corporations are running the show, and they're basically taking advantage of their customer bases and being as egregiously evil as they can get away with to make as much money as they possibly can, because apparently there isn't a point where you're too rich, which is something I don't understand. I think if I had $1 million, I would be good for at least 10 years. Not only good for at least 10 years, but even after that, I'd still only need money to survive, and I guess to pay taxes if I ever got property in the US, which I don't even know if I want to do anymore. But all that aside, that's what I mean. The companies are having to keep paying off the idiot child investors, which I don't think every investor is an idiot child. I just think every investor that's involved with a company that takes advantage of their customer base because they want easy and safe returns that 10x every single year or whatever else. I think those are idiot children with unrealistic expectations about what a good investment actually is, because that's how I got something like Balatro, which, you know, they're like at a games conference being like, oh, well, we want the next Balatro, and that's the problem. There was no investors involved in Balatro. It was a game made by somebody who wanted to make a good game, and therefore, Balatro. Same with, what is it, Lethal Company outselling Call of Duty. Same with, I don't know. Elden Ring is a good example of a publisher, like a published game that actually did really well from a big corporation, because good game equals good money, but it doesn't equal all the money. I hate to say it, but as much money as Elden Ring made, it didn't make, like, FIFA money, I guess. And because of that, you know, that's why we don't see more Elden Rings even now. We're still seeing, like, FIFAs and everything else. Because literally, companies are using their ability to have a lot of money and make these games to prey on people by implementing as many casino-like and gambling tactics as possible and extract as much money from their user base as possible. And as a result of this, you know, that's how I got the games industry the way it is today, where they have gambling, you know, mechanics so egregious it can make casinos blush. And because of that, it's like government regulation doesn't need to get involved, because if it doesn't get involved, it will continue to get worse, and our games will suffer as a result. And don't get me wrong, maybe they'll go there, like everybody will go the route of Ubisoft, and good riddance, but at the same time, it's like there's only so far you can really push that, and eventually it is all just kind of going to go the same way after everybody thinks they're just safe and all. And because of that, I think regulation does need to get involved to some extent, because people just don't know how to not be greedy, predatory, child predatory shitheads. It's kind of like the job market. Ghost jobs are made partly, and I mean like 60% of hiring managers in a study And I can't remember. There's a guy who just talks about like jobs and Gen Z and stuff like that. And he used to be a banker. I know I don't really cite stuff in these videos, so just take what I say as a grain of salt, and always consider what I say as secondhand information that you should look up on yourself. But basically, according to research he did, and I trust his research, he basically said like 60% of hiring managers made ghost posts, like ghost jobs, I guess, because they wanted workers to feel like they were replaceable, and that's considered ethical. And all I want to know is, how is that guy going to feel when he's replaced? Like, whenever an AI takes over his job of exclusively making ghost jobs, and then he gets fired because he's not really needed anymore, how's he going to be? How's he or she or they or whatever else going to feel? Not even they or he or she. How's it, that thing that has such a corrupt and damaged moral compass, that they can say, oh, well, I'm going to perform this action that makes you feel like you can be replaced to scare you into trying to perform better, even if it costs you your own health and well-being? How can that thing that is no longer human, like, how would they feel whenever they get replaced? That's all I can really think about these situations, because people don't seem to understand the concept of bad thing is bad, and it's because, unfortunately, it does seem like the governments do need to get involved with companies and corporations and be like, yes, child, yes, let me pull you aside, child. Listen, child. Bad thing is bad, child. Because that's all these people are. They're children trying to go after that next dopamine hit. Or they're just drug-addled junkies doing what they can to keep their drug money flowing so they can keep snorting crack and doing hookers and whatever else. Wow, this went on a huge rant. But yeah, so the EU, basically, they're going to be implementing regulations because, yeah, there's multiple game companies out there. The one that broke the camel's back being Star Stable, and because of Star Stable just taking it a bit too far and it getting in front of the right eyes, now hopefully it's going to be regulations across the board. I'm not sure if it'll be as bad as the loot box fiasco, where it's like everybody was talking about it, but I at least wanted to talk about this because, yeah, fuck you to game companies, or not game companies, it's like publishers, corporations, or companies, anybody that would literally be a child predator, financially speaking, a literal child predator in order to make money and extract as much money as they can. And, some of them being literal child predators because of the U.S. government covering up the whole Epstein file situation. A little fun fact about that is a conspiracy theory I personally subscribe to. Because, what the U.S., like the actual United States, like an official United States X profile did. Still Twitter or Twatter, but, X just like people who don't know. Yeah, they literally, it said like, oh, this is a link to the Epstein files. And they posted a Rickroll. I actually got that one from a content creator called Omni. You can check the Wayback Machine. I checked the Wayback Machine and it seemed legit. And yeah, they deleted it, obviously. But the United States government is now being run by literal pedophiles, alleged. But I'm comfortably going to say, based on my belief of how they're treating the situation with the Epstein files, literal pedophiles and protecting literal pedophiles, based on my own opinions and my own, what I have seen, also based on their behavior. So yeah, just at this point, I don't even know what to say. It's just, we're actually living in a dystopia. And seeing any governmental body that'll be like, yeah, we're literally gonna take steps to protect kids and protect vulnerable people, that is a huge W in my book. And anybody who would deliberately target kids and target vulnerable people just for their own, selfish means, like, don't get me wrong, it's one thing if you're like, okay, you have money to burn, and I know you have money to burn, and there's this game I have where you can burn money in order to get an in-game advantage, and it's literally on front, just in your face, give me some smackaroons, I'll give you a gameplay advantage. Okay, or, this exclusive thing that won't come back, but, hey, it's literally designed to, it might come back at some point, or it's just never coming back because I want you to spend more money. If it's, like, in your face, if you're gonna, it's like Louis Rossman says, if you're gonna be the whole bitch, if you're gonna be the bitch, be the whole bitch, and, if it was, like, literally in your face, I'd be less upset about it. Like casinos. I hate the fact casinos exist. I think casinos should be illegal, and I think anybody who runs a casino is a morally bankrupt piece of disgusting dog doo-doo individual, and if anybody whoever ran any form of casino operation, like, I don't know, what is it all them Kick streamers do? The casino that Kick was made for deliberately, like, explicitly to sponsor. Yeah, if any of them reach out to me, I'm gonna literally take a picture of a bag of dog shit, and I'm gonna send it to them. And then after that, if they still don't get the message, they're not just gonna be a piece of dog shit, they're gonna be a stupid, dense piece of dog shit. But yeah, I think that any regulations, any actions made to protect vulnerable peoples and protect children and protect vulnerable children, I say that as somebody who used to be a vulnerable, stupid, idiot child. Yeah, I think any actions, any regulations that are made to protect these sorts of people is something that I should fully subscribe to, and that anybody should fully just subscribe to if they have any sense of a moral compass at all. And it's not like, you know, the Protect Kids Online Act, where it's literally trying to take away your freedoms as an American citizen and allow the government to spy on you more. I'm not saying, like, stuff like that, where it's like, oh, it's for the kids, but it's actually meant for us to spy on you. Yeah, we want to spy on the little kids, because most of us are pedophiles. Oh, don't look at them Epstein files, yeah. You know, and that's my impression of the current upper echelons of the United States government, based on how they treated the situation with the Epstein files, literally taking picture of content creators holding them with information we already have after promising they would literally release Epstein files to us with all the names and stuff, because, let's be real, Trump is probably on that list. Like, at first I didn't think so, but based on how the situation was treated, if Trump's not on that list, Elon Musk definitely is. I'm saying that without a doubt. Like, allegedly, in my opinion, without a doubt, Elon Musk is on that list. Because he does, you know, let's not forget the fact he tried to pay out somebody who he sexually assaulted during a massage on a plane. And yeah, that became a whole public news thing. Man, this video is going to get very bad algorithm for how dark and serious it's getting. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. Protecting vulnerable peoples and holding people who are doing harm to people just for their own selfish wants. Yeah, I think anybody who has the ability to hold those people accountable and they start holding those people accountable, I think that's a huge W in my book. So, good job, EU. I can't believe I'm saying this, but there actually is a governmental body out there that at least seems remotely considerate about their, you know, actual citizens and civilian population, and how certain, like, damaging acts will, you know, actually hurt their lives and destroy their lives. So, for that at least, good job, EU. That's all I can really say, because, yeah, you know, fuck corporations, fuck people, companies, individuals that would do this sort of thing and say it's fine. Yeah, I think that's everything I have here. Thank everybody so much for watching. If you liked the video, leave a like on it. Subscribe if you want to see me at more, and leave a comment down below on what you think about this situation, or if you've heard about it, or if I got anything wrong, do please correct me, because I will say it again, this is mostly just me talking off the cuff. I don't really have a lot of time to cite stuff and, like, super research stuff in depth. So considering my information secondhand, and just look it up. You know, EU on, I don't know, EU, what is it, Star Stable EU regulations? Yeah, Star Stable EU regulations. And I guess go from there. Just definitely do your own research, but that's just something I want to talk about. But yeah, that said, thank everybody so much for watching, and if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe. Check out my Discord if you want to join the community of Monster Hunter, so you can be tagged whenever I do some of these multiplayer missions. And check out my Patreon if you want to support the future of the channel, or, I don't know, leave a super thanks or whatever else, or become a member. And, yeah, I think that'll be it for me. Thank everybody so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.